Hey, welcome back to the Monstergarden. I haven't really set the groundwork of the world, have I? I've told you about different parts of it, but I haven't really covered just the basics of what the world looks like and has in it, major landmarks and events. The reason being, those things have changed quite a lot over time. As I'm developing the world, adding and changing things, it's been hard to set things in stone and keep them consistent. I think it's inevitable that these things will change, but I at least wanted to establish the world as it is now to help set a backdrop for the stories to come. So, first let me tell you how this world came to be. Not like a creation myth, but literally how I got to the point of making this project. Originally, the Monstergarden was a creature design stream. I love designing creatures and brainstorming with people, so the streams would consist of me and the viewers starting the stream with a prompt, and then brainstorming a concept together until it turned into a finished drawing. A lot of these old drawings give me nostalgia, which is weird. It has only been like a few years, but I guess a lot has changed since then. Anyway, the thing that happened was we started to think of backstories for these creatures. And these backstories sort of got lengthier as things went on. Some creatures started to come from the same places. For example, these all came from a place called the Catacombs, these from the City of Ash, and these from a place called Kolborg Basin. These locations ended up needing to be somewhere, so we decided to make a map. But then we added more interesting locations, because interesting locations prompt interesting designs, which means we had to redesign the map again. And again. And the problems began due to the world being more story-based in a setting, and less floating designs in a void. It meant that some designs just didn't fit the setting, and I was conflicted. Instead of having fun designing whatever we want, I started to shoot down ideas because they didn't make sense in the world or just didn't feel right. I was stuck back and forth like this for quite a while, occasionally planning that the designs will be turned into some like D&D monster manual as well, which just made the designs even more stressful, as I was more focused on having mechanically interesting designs that would work well in a TTRPG setting, instead of just designs that were fun. Over time it just got tedious, and I stopped for quite a while. I didn't really know what I wanted the Monstergarden to be anymore. Obviously, I came back to it eventually, and ditched the idea of making a D&D book as it really was messing with my head. And we designed the Witch Hunters, which really made us flesh out the world as it created questions like, what did they use to kill witches, why they killed them, and where the witch hunters themselves came from. I really enjoyed the process of designing them. They were the first humanoid design, and it made me reconsider the path of the Monstergarden, as originally I was just going to be endlessly drawing creatures with the viewers. Now I instead wanted to make a world that I could flesh out and deepen the lore of with each design. It seemed that the most fun I had was when the designs started to play off of each other, so that's what I wanted to embrace with the Monstergarden going forward, having a strong base of a world to play off of and create unique designs. Talking about a strong base, let's hop to the present and talk about the base of the Monstergarden, the World Pillars. Reaching up into the heavens themselves, these 12 pillars are believed to hold up the sky by most. Some others believe that the pillars are a sort of trial from God, as successfully climbing them you will reach the heavens. The pillars have always been there and have been considered holy in religious texts since religion has been a thing. At the base of these pillars reside great cities, and at some, great tragedies. Each country has a number of these cities that make up their capitals. Mana comes from within the earth, and the pillars attract large amounts of it. The two main countries we focus on in our stories are Ram and Varus, and these two are also the ones at war. Both countries have 2 towers in their territory, though Varus used to have a third, which has been taken over by the battlefield. Varus is the country that pursues the heavens. A lot of their architecture and clothing is influenced by the style of the pillars, and they have created many constructs that were designed to climb the pillars, to try to get to the top of them and seek answers. Ram, on the other hand, uses the pillars only for industry. to fuel their production, as they are not looking to find what's at the top. They are planning to go down. Mana comes from within the earth, and they believe whatever is its source must lead to the truth. Giant machines the size of churches used to dig their way to the center of the earth, though these giant machines, and many others like them, lie dormant as their fuel source is running scarce. Infused oil, as it's called, used to be produced at a power plant located in Varus called the Mana Core, though due to a giant explosion that occurred there and the storm that covered the area soon after, contact to the facility and the surrounding cities has been impossible. The remaining fuel that was kept in storage soon ran low and tensions rose, as Ram's religious pilgrimage into the core was halted due to Varus's refusal to export any more oil. One thing led to another, and a war struck out between the two countries. The war has now been going on for too long, both sides going to desperate measures to win out over the other. Towns and villages bled dry of resources to sustain the fruitless fight. Innovations from both sides preventing the other from taking any ground for long. So, this is basically the world we find ourselves in, and where most of the stories will be taking place. I'm sorry that the environmental drawings are quite rough. My ability to draw them is still meh, but I will make sure to work on it more, to be able to draw them and do the environments justice. I'm planning to learn more techniques like using 3D to improve my ability and the range and quality of things I can draw in the future. Also, thank you to Poliostasis, a wonderful friend on Discord. The music you could hear in the background was made by him, and I think it's amazing. We've been working on it for a while, and I'll post it separately eventually as well, just so you can listen to it on its own without me babbling over it. I'll also put a link to his YouTube channel down in the description below so you can check out some more of his work. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.